The sun hung low over the small Midwestern town of Meadowbrook, casting golden hues over the quiet streets and rows of modest houses. In one such house, an 8-year-old girl, named Lily, sat cross-legged on the living room carpet, flipping through a picture book about the universe. Her bright blue eyes widened with wonder as she stared at the pages, each one filled with illustrations of stars, galaxies, and planets. She had always been curious about the bigger questions of life: where the stars came from, why people existed, and most importantly, who God was. Lily's parents, Amanda and Paul, were not particularly religious. They had raised her to be kind and curious, but avoided discussions about faith and politics, believing that such topics were too divisive. However, Lily's natural curiosity often led her to ask questions that even they struggled to answer. One day, as she sat on the porch swing with her Aunt Clara, a local schoolteacher known for her outspoken opinions, Lily posed a question that had been on her mind for days. "Aunt Clara, do you think God loves everyone?" Clara, taken aback by the innocence of the question, hesitated. She glanced at Lily, her golden curls bouncing as she rocked gently on the swing, and sighed. "Well, sweetheart, some people believe he does and some people don't. It depends on who you ask." Lily frowned, unsatisfied with the answer. "But what do you think?" Clara smiled softly. "I think God's love is big enough for everyone, but not everyone believes in it. Some people even use his name to spread hate, and that's not right." Lily nodded thoughtfully, her young mind trying to make sense of it all. Later that evening, as Clara prepared dinner, she mentioned an upcoming rally in town. "Did you know Donald Trump is visiting Meadowbrook tomorrow?" she said, her tone skeptical. "I might go just to see what all the fuss is about." Lily's ears perked up. She had heard of Donald Trump from snippets of news her parents watched, but most of it was confusing to her. "Can I come too?" she asked eagerly. Clara hesitated. "I don't know if that's a good idea. It might be loud and crowded." "Please," Lily begged. "I want to ask him something." Curiosity got the better of Clara, and she eventually agreed. The next morning, they made their way to the rally, joining a crowd that stretched as far as the eye could see. People wore red caps emblazoned with "Make America Great Again," waved flags, and held signs supporting Trump. The atmosphere was electric, filled with chants and cheers. Clara, feeling out of place, held tightly to Lily's hand as they navigated through the crowd. When Donald Trump finally appeared on stage, the crowd erupted into thunderous applause. Lily, perched on Clara's shoulders, stared in awe at the man she had only seen on television. He began to speak, his voice commanding yet warm, addressing topics that resonated deeply with the crowd. As the rally continued, Trump opened the floor for questions. Lily's hand shot up instinctively. To Clara's astonishment, one of Trump's aides noticed and pointed her out. "Let's hear from the little girl," Trump said, his tone genuine. The crowd parted to let Lily and Clara through. As they approached the stage, Lily's heart raced. Standing before Trump, she clutched the microphone and asked the question that had been burning in her heart. "Mr. Trump, do you think God loves everyone?" The crowd fell silent, and for a moment, Trump seemed taken aback. His expression softened as he knelt to meet Lily at eye level. "That's a very important question," he began. "I believe that God's love is for everyone, no matter who they are or where they come from. And I think it's up to each of us to show that love to others, even when it's not easy." Tears welled up in Lily's eyes. She felt a warmth she couldn't quite explain, a sense of comfort and understanding. The crowd erupted into applause, moved by the exchange. Clara, who had come with a skeptical heart, found herself clapping alongside them. But not everyone shared the sentiment. By the time Lily and Clara returned home, the exchange had already gone viral. Social media buzzed with reactions, both positive and negative. Some praised Trump's response and Lily's courage, while others mocked them, twisting the narrative to suit their own agendas. Local news outlets picked up the story, further fueling the divide. Lily's parents were furious when they learned what had happened. "Why did you take her there, Clara?" Amanda demanded. "Now she's being dragged into something she doesn't understand." "I didn't plan for this to happen," Clara defended herself. "But you should have seen her, Amanda. She was brave." And Trump's answer was, "It was sincere." Despite their concerns, the family couldn't shield Lily from the fallout. At school, classmates teased her, calling her Trump's girl. Neighbors avoided the family, and even Clara faced criticism from her colleagues. The Anderson family, staunch Trump supporters who owned a local diner, were among the few who stood by them. Leo and Emma Anderson, along with their teenage son Eli, welcomed Lily and her family with open arms, offering support and kindness. The Andersons had their own struggles. Their diner, once a bustling hub, had seen a decline in customers due to their open support for Trump. Eli faced bullying at school, and Emma received hateful messages online. Yet they remained unwavering in their beliefs, finding solace in their faith in each other. As the days passed, the harassment intensified. Protesters gathered outside the Andersons' diner, chanting slogans and demanding they shut down. One night, the windows were smashed, and graffiti was scrawled across the walls. Despite this, the Andersons refused to give in to fear. When Trump's team learned of the ordeal, they decided to highlight the Andersons' story at an upcoming rally. Lily and her family were invited as special guests, a gesture that brought a glimmer of hope amid the chaos. The rally became a turning point, showcasing the strength and resilience of ordinary Americans who believed in the ideals of faith, family, and freedom. At the rally, the Andersons stood alongside Lily and her family as Donald Trump addressed the crowd. His speech was a mixture of resolve and compassion, emphasizing the importance of standing firm in the face of adversity. "This is not just about politics," he said, his voice carrying over the cheering crowd. "It's about faith, love, and the strength of the American people. We don't back down, and we don't let hate win." Lily, shy but emboldened by the support around her, stepped forward to share her story. Holding the microphone with trembling hands, she recounted her simple question about God and the profound response she had received. "I just wanted to know if God loves everyone," she said, her voice small but clear. "Mr. Trump told me that he does, and I believe that. I believe that even when people are mean to you, you should still try to be kind." Her words brought the crowd to tears. Clara, watching from the sidelines, felt a surge of pride and something unexpected: a newfound respect for Trump and the people who supported him. It was a moment that transcended politics, touching the hearts of everyone present. However, the rally's success only fueled the ire of Trump's detractors. Protesters outside grew louder and more aggressive, clashing with Trump supporters. The Andersons' diner became a battleground, with activists from both sides congregating there to voice their opinions. One night, as the family was cleaning up after a particularly busy day, a brick was thrown through the window. Attached to it was a note: "You'll never win." Emma Anderson picked up the brick, her hands shaking, and showed it to Leo. "They're trying to scare us," she said, her voice filled with determination. "But they don't know who they're dealing with." Leo nodded. "We won't let them break us." Meanwhile, an investigative journalist named Rachel Monroe began digging into the harassment targeting the Andersons and Lily's family. Rachel, a reporter for a national outlet, initially approached the story with skepticism, believing it was another example of political theater. But as she delved deeper, she uncovered evidence of a coordinated effort to discredit Trump supporters. Emails, leaked by an anonymous source, revealed a conspiracy involving local political operatives and activist groups. The revelation sent shockwaves through the town and beyond. Public opinion began to shift as more people realized the extent of the campaign against the Andersons and Lily's family. The once silent supporters of Trump in Meadowbrook found their voices, organizing peaceful demonstrations and showing solidarity with the families who had borne the brunt of the hostility. At the height of this newfound unity, Trump delivered a televised address from the Oval Office. Holding Lily's handwritten letter in his hands, he spoke about the values that had shaped his presidency. "This little girl reminded me of something we should all hold dear," he said. "Faith, kindness, and the courage to stand up for what's right. We can disagree on politics, but we should never let hate divide us." The speech resonated across the nation. Even some of Trump's critics acknowledged the sincerity of his words. Donations poured in for the Andersons, who used the funds to repair their diner and offer free meals to those in need, regardless of political affiliation. Lily's parents, once skeptical of the MAGA movement, began to see its members in a different light. Amanda volunteered at the diner, while Paul helped organize a community cleanup event to repair the damage caused by protesters. As the months passed, the once divided town of Meadowbrook began to heal. The Andersons' Diner became a symbol of resilience and hope, hosting monthly Unity Nights, where people from all walks of life could come together to share stories and build bridges. Lily's story inspired similar movements across the country, with communities embracing the Faith Over Fear campaign that had grown out of the ordeal. Lily, now a local hero, continued to ask big questions about life and faith. Her courage and innocence had sparked a movement that transcended politics, reminding people of the power of kindness and forgiveness. Clara, who had once been skeptical of Trump and his supporters, became an advocate for understanding and dialogue, often quoting Lily's words, "Even when people are mean to you, you should still try to be kind." In the years that followed, Meadowbrook became a model for other towns grappling with division and hate. Lily grew into a compassionate leader, advocating for faith-based initiatives and working tirelessly to bring people together. The Andersons' Diner thrived, serving as a beacon of hope and a reminder that resilience and kindness could overcome even the darkest times. Donald Trump, reflecting on his time in office, often cited Lily's question as a turning point. "It wasn't just about me," he told an interviewer years later. "It was about the people. It was about faith. And it was about the courage of one little girl who wasn't afraid to ask the most important question of all." In the end, it wasn't just the MAGA movement or Trump's legacy that triumphed. It was the enduring belief in faith, family, and the power of unity. And as Lily's story continued to inspire, it became clear that even in a world filled with division, love and resilience could light the way forward.